My name is Paul Long. Welcome to my shop. This is what I got here. I built it from whenever we first moved into or first built our house, moved into this area. It's a 30 by 30 shop, and just a metal building, insulated, all that kind of good stuff. It was built by a company here locally in Burleson, so just built it when we first moved in. So when we first built it, my plan was to have like an actual office out here where I could, just kind of get away and design stuff. I actually had a desk in here. I just recently got rid of that it's kind of more of a storage area here. But just a little, about a 10 by 8 by 8 room that again was going to be an office. So coming in here is the main shop area. We'll touch on this real quick. This was going to be, it still is my finishing room, but it does double duty, as you can see, with lawn equipment. I got my mower and all that kind of stuff, so hopefully another building for lawn equipment will come pretty quick. Yeah, a big roll-up door there. The door's not insulated. I hadn't had a real need for that, but again, like I said earlier, the entire shop's insulated, so it kind of helps everything kind of stay stable. But yeah, so as we come in, initially designed to where I could bring big sheet goods and stuff in, bring it in through the door. That was my first storage area back there. The idea was to have sheet goods I could store there, and then kind of cut-offs there, but a buddy of mine gave me this rack here, so I was able to get some more wood storage there. This is a bunch of pallet wood that I got a load of pallets and was able to break that down. But so we go back here. So this is my router table. This is a New Yankee Workshop router table. I built this several years ago. It's got a lift in there. It's old school. I got it off of Amazon, I believe. So wasn't too bad. But you can. It's got router bit storage here. Wrenches and stuff are stored right here, and also have a magnet on the side that has my wrenches that I get to. Okay, cool. So as we come around here, this is my table. So I've had this one for about 20 years, to be honest with you. I started off with a Ryobi little bench top table saw, and then whenever we moved into our house in Mansfield before we moved here, I bought this table saw, like I said, about 20 years ago, and that thing's run like a champ. I will tell you this, one of the things that I discovered over the last couple of years, I used to be out here with no heat, no AC, no anything, and sweating and dying and all that, and then I saw the mini splits and saw how easily they were to install, and actually I was going to do it myself, but my electrician said he would do it for me, so got that, and that's a game changer. So definitely mini split if you can swing it. When I first moved in, I built just kind of work surface, just kind of all around, just threw something up fairly quickly, and then it's kind of evolved as I went along. As you can see, miter saw station here. I'm about to cut that out and actually recess that down so it's more of a user-friendly area. Underneath, I just have here's my planer, a couple of shop vacs, and then my little bench top joiner there. So I again, as you can see, I kind of collect a lot of wood and don't know have a place to put it all. So when I first started off, I went to a couple of wood places, and they would offer me, I'd be looking around for just wood to use. And then there's a place in Grand Prairie, Hogan's Hardwoods is what it used to be called. I think it's changed names a couple times. But talk to them. Sometimes they offer you a deal, and they offered me like pallets of wood. I'll give if you give me $200, I'll give you this whole pallet, and that's how I ended up with all this. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. But some sanders are right here. Again, just kind of move stuff around. It's a one-man shop, so I kind of do it all whatever I need at the time, I can kind of get it out of there. But a couple of sanders. These cabinets I built, again, for the old house. Don't really use them here other than just to store stuff. But I didn't want to throw them away because I figured I might use them at some point. But this Christmas I got a lathe. So this is my kind of my lathe area here that I'm trying to get into pin making, small projects and stuff like that. So it's kind of the little shop cart here that fits under there. If I'm using different parts and kind of going from the miter saw to band saw or wherever else, you know, I can put them on there. I got tired of making 2 or 3 trips whenever I'm doing lots of parts, and so I got this to kind of help me out with that. So that was a quick weekend project. This is my drill press, just a benchtop drill press. The Win, I like it. It's a pretty good drill. I started off with a Delta, and it's actually over there, but the one of the spokes, cast iron spoke drives at the top, it blew up on me. Wow. And they don't sell parts for that anymore. So I'm holding on to hope of finding another pulley or whatever to replace that one. But this one's working out pretty good for me. Behind it, I got my scroll saw. Again, I can't bring myself to get rid of it because I think maybe I'll use it. The intent was to do a lot of little scroll work. I found I don't have the patience to do all that real intricate stuff, and some of the guys in the club are really good at it. So makes me want to do it, but I know I don't have the patience for it. This was my first bandsaw, just a little Ryobi thing. This is dedicated to metal, so I put a metal blade on there. So anything, if I need to cut off a screw or cut out a little piece of metal, whatever, that's the only thing that gets cut on this now. Is just straight running metal. This is a base to an old entertainment center. This is one of my first projects that I built, again, for the old house. We moved here, we didn't need it, but now it's just kind of drill storage. I got a bunch of drill bits and stuff in there, and just kind of little odds and ends of stuff I don't have any idea what to do with. So this one is a good game changer. Again, another one took me a long time to get, but I don't know why I waited so long. The track saws. This Makita is pretty good, and it makes cutting down plywood super easy now. So I used to, have the skill saw and rig a straight edge and all that kind of stuff. But now this, and put a track on there, and I can. Right. Back in the old days when I was young and nothing hurt, you could get a piece of plywood and you flip it on there and you lift it up and you're pushing 8 feet of wood across that table saw. It's don't realize how dangerous that was until there's other ways to do it. I was talking to someone, they suggested getting a mechanics toolbox. This is actually for all my woodworking tools mostly. Okay. I got saws and wrenches and everything there. So that was actually my first area to store any type of tools. There we go there. So small part bins, which kind of grew to more small part bins, which are over there. I use a lat a lot. I have a bad habit of looking on YouTube and thinking, oh, I could do that project. And I get on Amazon, I click, buy a bunch of stuff, and then I have to move on to something else before I actually finish that project. So I got a lot of bins with parts of future projects in there. So I just got to remember what that project was. Clamp storage up there, big cabinet clamps. I just hook on the rail there. That works out pretty good. Before I had the AC unit, I had a fan up here and a fan in the other corner, and I would turn those on and try to get some kind of air circulation, but it was not the best. Yeah, so this workbench was actually the second workbench I built. It's all out of 2x4s and 4x4s. Went actually laminated this, cut it up, planed it down, and made a work top out of it. Had an embedded measuring tape in there, and then polyurethane. These are screwed on. This is actually I use it for breaking down plywood now, so you can see all the cuts in there. So it's all Home Depot quality pine. There was nothing special to it. I think I saw online this some plan for it, and I just kind of went off of that, but it worked out pretty good. So this is just a big old iron rack from Northern Tools for some more storage. I don't know if you can see in the back, my plan is to have dedicated air throughout here, run an air system, so that's all the stuff for that. Kind of my go-to thing that's making money for me right now, just as side projects or planners and stuff. So I buy a bunch of fence pickets and stuff and just store them up there, and I can get to use those to do that. So this workbench is this was actually the first workbench for me at my old house. It fit just perfectly on that little step up that all garages have that were like that. So it fit there perfectly and has done me good. So again, didn't want to just get rid of it when I moved here. So, but there it is. And then this is my air compressor. That's just a small air compressor that I've run off of. So this is the last one. This is my most current workbench here. This is the 731 Woodworks is the YouTube guy. Right. He's the one that I actually bought the plans for that because I didn't want to worry about trying to figure it out myself. Straight running went with his plans. It's mostly made out of, the wood actually are just old cedar 4x4s that I had left over. So I used those, and then everything else is made out of plywood except for the trim. The trim is some oak that I had. The plywood I got from Fort Worth Plywood Company. Right. They have like a Vietnamese plywood. It's all in metric stuff, but it's considerably cheaper than Baltic birch. This is actually just a sticker. Oh. A friend of mine owns a sign company, so that's my my company there, or my business that I'm trying to start up a little bit. But she made that sticker for me, got that put on there, and then I put a couple of coats of finish on the top of that and got it all sealed up. But it has lots more storage than I could think of. Here's that brad nailer that I like. I'm a Milwaukee guy for all my battery tools. Right. I like it, and they all seem to run pretty well. So these are my jigs. This is my pocket hole jig right here. Get a little dust mask whenever I get really after it. So this is all my pocket hole stuff. Here's this is a box joint jig that I actually just used on that project over there. And then here's a table saw sled that I got. Again, it's adjustable, but I don't ever adjust it because it works very good. Making nice square cuts on that table saw over there. So, but this is just a bunch of scrap that I threw together real quick and made sure it was all real accurate, and it worked very well for the purposes.
Best jigs come from scrap.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't ever throw anything away. So. Right. But so this is that's the one I use for my track saw. I'll hook that up to the because that track saw does generate a lot of dust. Okay. So I'll throw that on there and hook it up to a shop vac and go that way. So I keep wanting to do like a dust collection for the whole shop, but then whenever it comes down to time to do it, I'm like, well, I don't really need it. I'll use it for tool specifics. Most recent project, again, so I started off doing just those planners, and people kind of chime in on Facebook Marketplace, and they say, hey, can you make me this? Can you make me that? So I told them, tell me what you want, and I'll see if I can do it. And if I don't know how to do it, then I happen to know a few people over in a certain club somewhere that might know how to do it, that I would throw business their way if I couldn't figure it out. But this is just furniture grade pine. That's all she wanted. I'm gonna stain it here in a minute. I just got done sanding it down to 220. But yeah, we just it's 1.25 inches or 1.125 inches actually now, and then it's designed to go on her. She has carpet, but it's going to go on her couch. It's going to slide underneath, be like a little drink table here, and then if they want to, they can pull it out, and while they're sitting, it can be like a little work table or like a TV tray type thing. So that's kind of cool once it's finished. So hopefully have that done here next. And then the last thing that I discovered I had, or that a lot of people already knew, is these dust collectors up here. It was pretty easy to install up there. I highly recommend that because it doesn't get all the dust, but it definitely clears the air, so you're not breathing it in while you're trying to finish stuff or dropping all over the place. that was one of the agreements whenever we built this house and moved out here, was that
Right.
I would get a shop, because I started off in a little 2-car garage shop at my old house. Actually, I started on the patio of my apartment complex, of my apartment when I lived in Arlington.
Right.
Then we moved to Mansfield, and I had a 2-car garage. And then whenever we decided to move out here and build our house, one of the requirements I had is I was like, okay, I want a shop, and she wanted it out of the house.